It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Today is Friday, August 23rd. We have made it to Friday. Nothing has been needed more than this Friday. I don't know if you guys are feeling the same. Stress levels are real high over here in my home. Not really with the house, not with the kids, with my own personal stuff. Everything's fine with Lance. Don't worry. We're good. We're good people. Nothing is going on there. There's just some behind the scenes stuff that are happening. So I'm just like really, really needing a couple days off, spending the rest of today in Malibu at a family member's house who she rents a beach house in Malibu for a couple weeks every August. So I'm going to go down there. I'm very looking forward to it. I can't wait to decompress. Actually, I almost canceled going to the beach because I said I'm too stressed out. And Dylan, my amazing 11-year-old, looked at me and he said, Mom, that's exactly why you got to go to the beach. You got to de-stress, got to decompress, got to turn off your phone. And I was like, done and done. Welcome to Daily Dose of Donna on this beautiful Friday. We've got some stories to hit up. Of course, we've got to talk about Real Housewives of OC, which was just, it's a great show. It's a great show, but I don't know if anyone could be on my ish list more than Alexis Bellino. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Remember that song? When say no, 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 no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, this drives me crazy. Let's get into all of it. Let's talk some smack about Alexis. Get comfy. Welcome. This is your Daily Dose of Donna. I'm reading your comments. So many comments. Number one, you guys are all friends. You're all in here together. It's like this is a gathering of the minds. Remember, it's the church of Dodd. Not Kelly Dodd. It's Dodd. D-D-O-D. It's the Dodd church. D-Dodd. We need to come up with a good, prayer. We don't need to make it a prayer. We can make it a song. A rap. A rap. Welcome in. Okay. Number one, just a little homework, some assignments, some admin, as they say. We are going to host a members only at some point soon. That is over here on YouTube. I don't know if it's going to be a spur of the moment thing this weekend or maybe early next week. I just need to get my kids to school. Okay. Once my kids go to school on Wednesday, life can get back into some sort of order. Right now, I am a sous chef, a chaperone, a personal shopper, a personal assistant, a housekeeper. I'm doing it all in this house right now. So it's hard for me to add to the plate, but Patreon episodes will still come out this weekend, the audio episode, and I'm setting up my next happy hour. So make sure to join. Make sure to join all of it. All right. So let's get going. Let's get going into some of the stories that just popped out this morning for me. The first thing I saw this morning, and this is so exciting. Are you guys an Only Murders in the Building fan? I don't know if we've talked about that on this show, but I love that show. And it took me a while to get into it. I tried to get into it the first episodes and then I got out of it. But then Lance and I got in. Lance didn't like Martin Short. He said, Martin Short just drives me crazy. I said, Frank, I'm sorry, what? You don't like Martin Short? I don't understand. I don't understand how you don't like Martin Short. If you don't like Martin Short, I don't like you. Let's make sure to watch Only Murders in the Building. He is now a fan of Martin Short. And of course, did you guys know it looks like Martin Short and Meryl Streep are dating? There is something about this that I love so much. There's something about this like older couple that, has seen a bunch of things, have done a bunch of things. And now they've decided to like fall in love. And I actually didn't really even know like what Martin's life was like. I didn't know him as, a romantic one, but look at that. There are pictures today on page 6 of them actually holding hands. You guys want to see it together? I think it's so cute. Now, I need to do some research into Martin Short and Meryl Streep's history in terms of dating and marriage. I know they both have been married. Maybe it says it in this article. They showed up at the premiere holding hands, not only on the red carpet, but then afterwards when no one was watching. Um, she's 75, he's 74. They sparked romance rumors when they were seen looking quite comfortable with each other at the 2024 Golden Globes Awards. They just said that they were just friends, but this is the foursome. I mean, if I want to hang out with anyone, I want to hang out with this crew, right? Steve Martin, who I'm obsessed with, Martin Short, Selena Gomez, and Meryl Streep. Like, what a crew. I have not heard one bad thing about working with any of these people on that show. So I'm assuming that they really enjoy each other. But it looks like they're hanging out a lot and having fun. And oh yeah, here we go. In October 23, Streep was single after secretly separating from her husband Don Gummer 6 years prior. After 40 years of marriage. I can only imagine 40 years and then all of a sudden being single. What a crazy situation. Yes, Michelle, Martin's wife passed away. I remember going into a lot of the past. I feel like he had one long-term wife as well. I don't know if you guys saw the Steve Martin documentary. A lot of people didn't like it that like I spoke to, but I really enjoyed it. It's a two-part documentary. I can't remember if it's on Apple TV or Max. And the first part is like all of this old footage of Steve growing up and things he used to do. And then the second part is currently. And then you have him with Martin Short and a lot of the scenes. They work together because they go on tour together and they do their little comedy thing. They're like Giggly Squad for older men. That's what they are. Martin and Steve. Steve Martin Short. That's your SMS. Steve Martin, Martin Short. I have a friend that's like so addicted to doing things like that. If you say anyone's name, they try to find someone else's name that starts with the person's last name. You want to play the game? Tom Cruise. Cruise, Teddy's son. That's the only other name that I could think of that came with that last one. How about Tom Hanks? Hank Basket. Isn't that what was his name? Kendra from Girls Next Door. What was her husband's last name? Let's do one more. Andy Cohen. Cohen Andy. I don't know anyone with the first name Cohen. We'll have to keep on working on that. All right, we'll play that game at another time. Maybe happy hour. I mean, these are the kind of fun things that you can be missing if you don't join happy hour. Speaking of Tom Cruise, this is an article that just came out, and I was real surprised to hear this. Tom Cruise is paying for Suri's $65,000 a year college education. Now, did anyone else see this article and be like, wait, what? The fact is that back when Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes divorced in 2012 or whenever that was, let me go back. Let me see. Part of that deal was that, in 2012 when they divorced after 6 years of marriage, that he should cover all of her schooling. Katie was smart to do that because college is now $65,000 a year, which is why I'm homeschooling my kids for college. Does anyone want to teach my kids some college courses? Because $65,000 a year ain't happening over here. She's going to Carnegie Mellon University. Partially, I can't afford college, but also partially because I don't want to decorate their rooms like everyone's doing on TikTok right now. Are you watching the dorm renovations and the dorm interior design things over the on TikTok? Like it's wild. Like people go crazy. They hire designers to design their dorms. I have two boys, so hopefully it won't be that insane, but it's a crazy story out there. Anyway, so I thought this was really interesting that even though they have not seen each other in 11 years, they've not been seen together, I should say that. Tom Cruise and Suri have not been seen together in 11 years. She even dumped his last name, so she's no longer Cruise. Why are they calling her Suri Cruise everywhere? if she dumped his last name. Anyway, it's happening. It's happening. He's paying for her college, which I guess $65,000 a year is a drop in the bucket. It's just one more stunt for Tom Cruise, right? Anyway, so many fun things in the comments. Happy anniversary. Welcome into the show. Heather is sending her kids to Bowling University. You learn so much here. So much. Yeah, at least it's not a Scientology college. I'm surprised he didn't write that into the account too. Like, okay, fine. I will pay all the college as long as it's a Ron L. Hubbard estate college. Okay, so another little random story. Well, none of these are really random, but Joe Gorga. Gorga. Joe Gorga has a live show, I guess, this comedy routine. Who's going? Tell me in the comments, is this something that you're going out of your way to go see? Would you go see Joe Gorga in concert? Just curious. Anyone? Anyone? Well, he has a comedy show that allegedly, shockingly not, includes jabs against Teresa and Louis. It was over the weekend. It featured multiple surprise jabs against his estranged sister, Teresa, and her husband, Louis Ruelas. I swear it says Louis Ruella. At Ruelas. As Teresa, Louis, Jennifer Aiden, and her husband, Bill Aiden, were enjoying their European vacation in Turkey, their castmates were mocking them on stage at Harrah's Resort in Atlantic City, New Jersey. He was out to shock from the outset as he made a candid revelation that his sex life, whoa, did not know this was coming. His sex life with his wife isn't as spicy 20 years into the marriage. Ouch. And also, Avi, whose sex life is as spicy 20 years in? I mean, maybe a lot of you guys feel that way. Then he said, he joked about a dream that he had about dying, and he recalled the priest saying, "I'm going to call his only family Teresa Giudice." That prompted the crowd to erupt in a lot of boos and Joe to pause as he waited for the commotion to die down. He continued his joke, Teresa Giudice, to give the eulogy. He then imitated her walking up to the front of the memorial service, stood up on a stool that was set on stage, and said, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the best housewife of them all?" He continued, and she says, "That bitch killed my brother. I should have known when she brought me to sprinkle cookies instead of pignoli cookies." A few jokes later, Joe then slammed Louis's past comment about wearing his late father's pajamas. Joe told the audience, "I go into the other room and they're like, 'You have to talk to Louis.' I'm like, 'Louis? Oh shit.' So I sit down and I have this talk with Louis, and he looks at me and he goes, 'I wear your father's pajamas.'" We've all seen that cringeworthy episode. Joe's pals, Frank, Joe Benigno, and John Fuda, then surprised the star on stage by walking out from behind him wearing casual t-shirts and pajama pants. Joe, Margaret's husband, said, "Joey, we wanted you to feel a little better, so we came out here wearing your dad's PJs." Okay, that's actually kind of funny. That actually is a little funny. And then he says, "See, my friends, how much they care about me." Anyway, it kept going on. I'm sure a lot of people had fun. I guess if Shannon and Vicky can go on stage and do these shows, why not Joe and the Jersey Boys, right? Who knows? It did look crowded on Instagram. It looks like there was a lot. And they had a comedy show. The comedy show ended with a Q&A portion with Rachel Fuda, Danielle Cabral, and Nate Cabral. So he got the whole crowd also to chant, "Let's get a F Louie, F Louie." I mean, the actual word, F Louie, F Louie. And then Rachel, who's pregnant with her third child, apparently seemed disappointed in what was going on, quickly screamed in the mic, "This is inappropriate. This is inappropriate. This is not what this is about." And it just went on and on. So it looked like a fun night. I mean, listen, you can't expect that anyone from the Jersey cast is going to hit above the belt, right? These are all below the belt people. Can't we pretty much assume that? Now, someone said earlier, Lily said, your girl Bethany Frankel has a stand-up show coming up. Tell me you're joking. Where do I find the Instagram post about it? Not a real stand-up show. She's not actually going to go on on a stage and do stand up, right? That's like a joke. Is she trying to be Hannah Berner? What's happening? That is wild. Now, staying in the Bravo world, of course, of course, Leah McSweeney's attorney, also known as Bethany Frankel, had to stand up and speak about this ugly video that has been released over the week from Brandy on The Sun. Now, if you guys missed it, yesterday I was on Pink Shade's podcast and we were talking all about this. And I kept thinking about this conversation that Brandy Lambo had with The Sun. I want to know for all of you guys, are you reading The Sun? Are you going to thesun.com when you're looking for gossip? When you go to the market, do you go straight to The Sun to read your gossip? Like, I'm serious. I want to know who's actually relying on The Sun as your gossip source. I just think with so much on Instagram, on TikTok, on nightly news, on like entertainment, like who is reading The Sun? So Brandy really had to um it's not People. It's not Us Magazine or Us Weekly. It's not Page Six. It's not Daily Mail. Like, it's The Sun. It feels low, right? Doesn't it? I mean, The Sun is high, but The Sun feels low. You know what I mean? It feels low. I wonder how much money she made from releasing all of that. But of course, Leah McSweeney's attorney, his name is his name is actually Bernie Frankel. It's not, but like, would you be surprised if Leah McSweeney's attorney is actually Bethany Frankel? It says, as the ugly Andy Cohen video emerges, wasn't that ugly? Leah McSweeney's lawyer says Bravo thinks it's above the law. Now, that I can probably guarantee. I don't know if Bravo thinks it's above the law, but I think Bravo thinks Andy Cohen is above the law. It says, as reality giant Bravo dodges multiple allegations against it, an attorney for one of its former stars says that the network seems to think it's above the law. Leah McSweeney's lawyer, okay, fine, his name is Gary Edelman, Frankel, made the remarks to Page Six as video surfaced that shows McSweeney's former boss, Andy Cohen, inviting a then employee to watch him have sex. And as McSweeney filed new court papers defending her lawsuit against the network. Edelman says the fact that Cohen has kept his job amid the video scandal buttresses. Wait, what? Hey, Siri, what does the word buttresses mean? A buttress is an architectural structure, usually of masonry, built to strengthen or support walls to resist the lateral thrust of vaults. Huh? Edelman says the fact that Cohen has kept his job amid the video scandal, I guess, strengthens McSweeney's case by showing that the network executives really do not care about their employees. Um, and that, I mean, it just keeps going on. He says it buttresses our claims and sends the message that they think they are above the employment law and really do not care at all about their employees, especially the women who have made these shows successful. Meanwhile, McSweeney filed a response to Bravo's motion to dismiss. Okay, that we know. That's kind of old. That's in May, whatever. In papers filed Wednesday and seen by Page Six, her lawyers, Edelman Matz, wrote that the defendants, which include Bravo, Cohen, and Shed Media, a production company that makes the show, evidently believe merely because they are in the business of filming and displaying reality television, the First Amendment provides them the unfettered right to discriminate against their employees. Can we talk about this for just a second? Employees, okay. Employees are people who are on payroll, correct? This is tough. It's tough because I am dealing with a little bit of employment issues in a separate business, so that's kind of why I'm like thinking about this. We have workers' comp for employees, right? So if you have workers' comp, that covers any injuries on the job, anything like that. I guarantee you that a lot of these women were insured by a lot of these things. Were they on payroll? Are they on payroll salary? Or do they just get like a 1099. I imagine that's what it is. It's a 1099 employee. It's a freelance independent contractor, meaning you can take a job working for Bravo and also get a job doing commercials, podcasts, as we see. Wes Wilson's all over the place. Paige DeSorbo, Craig Conover. Everyone has multiple careers, or they should be. I guess Brandy and Leah don't, but most of these people keep their finances afloat because they don't only rely on being an employee or working for a reality show. They also do 15 other things. They have their hands in many buckets. And, as Vicky Gunvalson says, they should be working all the time. So, yeah, they are a 1099. I don't know if that is considered. I think it's like semantics, right? It's like very specific. It's very nuanced. If I hire a contractor between the months of January through March to shoot a show, and then they're done working on that show and they're just living their life, but because I did have an employment with them, does that mean I'm still their boss? That's confusing. It's confusing. Yes, but they are contracted employees. That's so true, Michelle. They are often not even sure if their friends are full-time housewives until production company decides. Yes, a lot of these women do have to sign contracts, but so do you when you're a freelance. If I hire an independent contractor, just say I hire a marketing expert to come in here and work on my social media or whatever, I am paying them. There's a contract in place that I am working with them, that I hire them. It's very confusing. Okay, well, listen, they're not going to stop. The offices of Frankel, McSweeney, Glanville, and I don't know, who else can we add in there? They're not going to stop. It's probably just going to keep going on until the day that either Andy Cohen steps down or does get fired. It's probably they're going to keep going at him. So I guess we'll see how long he can handle it. Okay, let's get into last night's OC because it was a good episode, as they all are. Vicente's here, everyone. He's just waving outside. So, what's up, Vicente? He misses you guys. Manzo, the offices of Manzo, Frankel, McSweeney, Glanville. I think that's good for now. I'm sure we'll add to it in the next 5 or 6 days. Let's move on to Real Housewives of OC. So last night's episode starts out still on the girls' trips. Remember, we have 2 dueling trips. We have the Big Bear trip with the Bears, Tamra, Alexis, Jen Pedranti, Katie. And then we have the La Quinta trip with Heather, Gina, Emily, and Shannon. So, of course, we see both sides, and they're both kind of waking up from a crazy night. I think that the La Quinta girls woke up feeling pretty fresh as a daisy. I don't think they partied hard into the night. I think the Big Bear girls got schmammered. Didn't you guys get that vibe? We saw Tamara doing some crazy foot fetish sexual situation, licking Alexis's feet. Ew, I could die. And then, of course, we saw them, starting an OnlyFans and being at a bar. I mean, those girls really partied. I feel like the La Quinta girls, maybe played a game of mahjong and were in bed by 10. Didn't you guys get that vibe? It was a very chill night over there. They're having breakfast with using full pineapple. I've never seen anything like this. They cut a pineapple and they made a drink out of it. So they're drinking their pineapple drinks and they're talking over breakfast. And Shannon in this scene opens up about all the drama with John. And she explains to these women that John Jansen is suing her for $75,000 and how she is, really struggling. Obviously, because she doesn't want to pay him for everything that he wants. She doesn't feel like she owes him. They were in a relationship together. She brings up the fact that she took his daughter and all of them, I guess, to LA, stayed in a hotel. She spent $10,000 on that weekend. They really enjoyed themselves. She's not asking for that money back. A relationship is a relationship. You love each other and you assume that you can pay for each other. They can pay for you on things and vice versa. And it's like a wash. Okay. Some relationships are not this way. Some relationships are very neck and neck, tit for tat. You pay for this, I pay for that. I don't I think most relationships that I know of with two people in separate bank accounts, as far as I know, are pretty like whatever. Yes, some of them are like, okay, I'll take care of the rent, you take care of the utilities, I'll pay for the groceries, you pay for the kids' after school things, like whatever. Some people have those kinds of arrangements. But in general, if I had separate bank account, I mean, I do have separate bank accounts, but we have a joint that we use for everything together. But if I had a separate bank account than my boyfriend and I went out and I bought like an extravagant weekend away, I would never like put it in a dossier or whatever it's called, like a document, like a Google spreadsheet. It feels a little wild that you can do that. So, yes, Michelle says the Bravo docket has done a full dive into the lawsuit that John has filed. You're not the first person that's told me this, so I will definitely listen to that over the weekend. It's a really interesting lawsuit. So Shannon is opening up to these women, and instead of them coming back at her and giving her shit about anything, they actually just listen, as friends should. And advice is important, but sometimes you just have to listen. Do you ever have those friends that always want to fix everything? They want to cut you off and come up with the solution. They want to immediately tell you what you need to do and how you need to fix it and what you're doing wrong. And in this case, I truly believe all she needed was someone to just listen and hug her. And I thought it was very, very sweet. So Emily gave her a big hug and they cried and they had this beautiful moment together where they were able to really connect and love on each other and love Shannon and give her support. And I found that to be really beautiful and raw. And Shannon was like, I am just so overwhelmed with love right now. I thought that was sweet. Now, look, let's go into a couple more things that happened in the episode and then we'll go into more of our thoughts. There was a pickleball game that they got ready for, and it ended up being one of the best scenes I've ever seen. I'm not joking. The scene between Emily and Gina, two girls that joined the show a few seasons back that were kind of sleeper cells, right? Like they were just kind of a little sleepy. And now they're starting to definitely get a little bit more. Well, they're very essential for the show. Gina's a huge player in this season. Emily, I think, has always been a very good addition to the show. And they're obviously having some built up tension. They've always been very close, thick as thieves, and now they're definitely getting some tension. So she has they start playing the pickleball, and Gina says, Emily, I want to talk to you about something. And Emily's like, I don't want to deal with it. But they start going back and forth. Gina is giving Emily shit because she says, you are basically kissing Tamara's ass and you're becoming more of a bitch because you're hanging out with Tamara. You're becoming more aggressive, you're saying things a little bit out of pocket, you're being a little wild and a little rude. And Emily says, well, Gina, you are kissing Heather's ass. Heather can't do anything wrong. You will bow down to her, you will kiss her ring, and anything that she says and does, you'll go against any other friend to be on her side. So, of course, they're both getting very sensitive and very upset at each other. And then Gina has that moment where we saw in the trailer, which is like, everyone hates me. You hate me. Shannon hates me. And Travis hates me. Everyone hates me. And throws the paddle and whatever. So they're both very upset. They walk away. They're in a fight. Of course, Shannon can't get back into the house. I mean, not Shannon. Gina can't get back into the house. She probably should figure that out if she's the realtor, but she's going through 17 different doors. She's like, it's all closed. I can't get in. There's too many ways to get in and out of this $9 million La Quinta house on sale for only $8,995. Watch it on the MLS. And the cameraman's getting like trapped up in this like bush. It was kind of a wild scene. And then Gina and Emily kind of hug and they have this moment where they're like, we love each other. I don't want to hurt you. I care. I don't want you to feel this way. I don't want you to da 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 da. Da. Really just very, very hurt. And so they end up having this moment, which I actually thought was really sweet. Now, meanwhile, we have two women. We have Heather and Shannon upstairs, and Heather goes, wow, your eyelashes look so good. And Shannon goes, they do? I couldn't even see them. And Heather goes, I can't see them either. And I genuinely laughed. I'm like, I love an older lady humor. Older lady humor. So basically, Shannon goes, "That's why I like hanging out with old women. We can't see anything." And it's so true. Yesterday, I went to the hairdresser for my kids. They were getting their haircut. And this guy that works for Oribe like gave me this little tester tube of this hair mask that I need to try. And I pulled it and I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." When I tell you I couldn't see it, I was like, I have no idea what I see the bottle. I have no idea what it says. I have no idea. I definitely cannot read the directions in the back. Like I have become blind. So they have a cute little moment. And then Shannon and Heather go and play their pickleball. And meanwhile, up at the Big Bear house, we have everyone kind of, waking up definitely more hungover, definitely a little more raw, I should say, a little more ragged, a little more raw dogging it the morning in the Big Bear house. And they're talking about the night before and they start getting emotional because they start talking about, wow, there's a blower right outside my door and it's so loud. So I think Vicente's assistant wants to get in on the action, guys. So they start talking about like family issues, and somehow Jen brings up that her ex, and I did not know this. This is crazy. Her ex-husband, whom she cheated on allegedly with Ryan, her new man, her ex-husband is now dating her ex-friend Laura, an interior designer that she hired when they were living together and married. Whoa. I've heard this story way too many times in life where someone hires an interior designer and next thing you know, the husband and her are shipping. That's like a real thing. So I guess she's blocked on Instagram, but not Tamara. So Tamara pulls up the video of her ex-husband partying it up, having fun with the new girlfriend and all the kids and like living it up. And it made Jen emotional. And Tamara was like, "Doesn't it make you feel so emotional to just see like your family and you're just like cut out of it?" And that's when she brings up Sydney. And she says that she and Sydney is her daughter that she doesn't speak to, are still not speaking. They saw each other at one of her other daughters. I forget her name off the top. Sophia's graduation. They spoke, they hugged. She thought that there was a chance for reconciliation. She's been texting her since, and nothing's happened. So it's very, very upsetting for her. But thou shall not throw those in glass houses, should not throw stones, is what they're saying, because Tamara's not perfect and never has been. And maybe her life is a little bit more on top of it together now because she has multiple businesses, makes a lot of money, is in a nice marriage, does her podcast, whatever. But it does feel crazy for Tamara to be the moral police when it comes to Shannon. Now, I know that a lot of you guys feel that Shannon needs the tough love. And while I agree that Shannon needs love in a tough way, the way that Tamara went about it last week with the dinner at Gina's house, or whatever episode that was, maybe it was last week, with the yelling, "You're an alcoholic, you need rehab." That was absolutely not the the move, right? That was not the move. To me, I feel like um I don't know. I feel like that's not tough love, that's just mean. I felt really bad for Shannon getting like it's just very, very, I would say, insulting, embarrassing, all the above, right? So they come back from, before they leave Big Bear, we find out about Alexis's phone call from Johnny freaking J. Johnny jerk. Johnny the jerk. Okay. He calls Alexis and she's like, "Hi, honey. I love you. I love you. I love your pee. I miss you. I just want to have sex with you all day long. I love you. Oh my gosh, we're so hot. I know, John, you don't drink. I know. I love you." I mean, literally beyond annoying. She gets on the phone with him. He says something to her that she gets off speaker for and says something about who knows what about Shannon. All we hear is Alexis's side of the conversation. She did what? She did what? The gloves are off. The gloves are off. Huh? We have no idea what's going on. Alexis is taking it so seriously to the point where she's now laying in bed. "I can't do this with this woman. She is going to get completely, her life is going to be over. I have videos of her that will ruin her life, Katie. I will ruin her life. And I have videos of her at the night of the DUI, where apparently there's a video of Shannon almost running over John's daughter in her car. I don't know. But the point is, why is Alexis falling apart here? Is it because Shannon's attorney filed a motion to not pay the $75,000 back? It's so unreal. Like it's out of control. Yes. Lauren says something really interesting. Why does Alexis keep saying we? She's acting like she and John were together when this all happened. We will not stand for this. We did not do this. We will get her. We will Yes, I thought the exact same thing. It's almost like someone you're talking to, your lifelong partner of 37 years, or your child, or your business partner, something that you've really been through this with together. And what Emily says is so true. She goes, why, if they're so in love, are they so hell-bent on taking Shannon down with them wherever they're going? Go off and live. And that's how you know they're not so in love. Because I don't know about you guys, but I have never once in my life been in a relationship, a new relationship, and then decided to spend the entire time trying to take down the ex. It makes no sense. The only time that I would think this would make sense is if Shannon and John had kids together and this was like a custody issue. Maybe, they just got divorced and they share 3 under the age of 18 kids and they're going through custody. Then you would want to continue to take the person down if you feel like they're doing something unfair. But everything else about this just makes no sense whatsoever. Alexis is losing her goddamn mind. Okay. A couple other things happened, and then it eventually got into a conversation with, um, let me think what happened. Oh, when we come back to Orange County and Tamara decides that she's going to go out to dinner with Shannon. She reaches out to Shannon to have a conversation because Jen Pedranti, of all people, is like, you think that you're being tough love, but like you actually are really maybe getting the opposite approach. You should sit with her. If you care about her, you should sit alone with her and talk to her, which is actually really good. She ended up going to the dinner, Tamara, and so did Shannon. And immediately Tamara messed up the situation. And I'll tell you why. If Tamara's goal, when you go into any sort of meeting, think about the reunion and what Jen Fessler said. You either break bread or smash glasses. You go into any sort of meeting, whether it's business, personal, family, therapy, whatever. You go in with one intention, one goal. You go in with a goal. The goal should be, we are here to make up. We are here to get you help. We are here to end our friendship. Like whatever it is, you have to have a goal. So if your goal is to show this person love and to get them the help that you believe that they need, then maybe don't go in to start with, I have an issue with you. You did this. I can't believe you weren't the one to reach out to me first. Because immediately Shannon's going to be on the defense. The way you go into a conversation like this, I think the best way to go into it is to say something along the lines of, Shannon, I love you. I care about you. I'm so sorry about the way the dinner went the other night. I didn't feel good about it. I just think I got really frustrated because here's where I feel like I'm not seeing any actual change from you. And then please tell me if I'm wrong. Like something along those lines, rather than you should have reached out to me and you did this and you did that. And then Shannon started saying something, really, Tamara, really? After you've defamed me? And Tamara goes, really? Really? When people start the mocking, when I fight with my husband and he tries to pretend to be me, oh, really? That's how you talk to me? Now my gloves are off. The gloves are off. You mock me, gloves are off. So she started going after Shannon. It was getting heated. And then Tamara goes, well, You don't think you have a drinking problem? And Shannon's like, I think that I did have a problem and I used alcohol excessively. And notice right when the waiter is coming over there, filling up the sparkling water, Tamara's like, you don't think you drink too much? It's so embarrassing. Like, this is embarrassing for Shannon. The whole thing is embarrassing. Not only did you get caught doing the DUI, drinking too much, all these things, but now you have a whole production crew, 5 cameras on you, producers, and now this random waiter is walking by and hearing, "Oh, you're an alcoholic," or whatever. It's just uncomfortable to watch. It feels really bad. Being called out for an addiction, being called out for a problem, this is not something that feels good in public. Like, why she needed to say exactly when the waiter was there pouring the water. You do have a drinking problem. You drink too much. It's like, oh God. So Shannon gets really hurt because Tamara brings up the fact that she drove her car into a house, which, like, let's not forget that I do believe Shannon does have a problem. I mean, I think everyone does probably, right? Shannon gets very upset. She walks to the bathroom. Instead of Tamara being like, okay, let me let her go there. I'm gonna calm it down when she comes back. She's like, what is she doing to the producer? Is she in there drinking? Is she getting a drink? Like, drop it. But I did think it actually when she said, can you get me my purse? Did anyone else think it? Did anyone else think that when Shannon was like, can you get me my purse? That I was like, does she have a little flask in there? I did think it. Tamara's getting to me. So then she comes back. She goes, I've learned to walk away when I'm in a stressful situation and breathe. They start talking and it's calmed down. And Shannon says, John is suing me and explains that. And Tamara, for the first time, feels really actually, I think, bad. I think for the first time, Tamara was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Shannon. Like, this has got to be really hard. I'm really sorry. If you guys swear to God, I'm not even joking. Vicente's co-star, Vicente's supporting act just looked into the window like this. I swear he's trying to get brought in here. He probably told his family too. My client's a YouTube star. I mean, oh my God. Wait, hold on. I just got a comment that just turned me on. Donna, babe, your look today is giving hot lipstick lesbian. And I am living for it. LOL, I never make the live so high. It's my birthday on Monday the 31st. Happy birthday. I'm a lipstick lesbian. Guys, do you think Lance will be offended? Should I call him on the live and ask? I feel really good about myself. My goal in life is to be a lipstick lesbian. It's because of my buff arms. Of course, Vicente's co-star just walked by and saw that. This is getting unhinged. This is getting bad. Okay, let's keep going. So then finally they kind of calm down. And Tamara goes, I want to invite you and Vicky to a party at my house. And Shannon goes, really? And they get up and they hug. And my whole thought process around this is don't trust it, because we know now in real life, in August of 2024, they are absolutely not, they're not friends. So something bad happens. Also, do you really want to go to a party at Tamara's with Vicky? Given everything that's happening, this is someone you trust. But finally, and the most important thing here is keep Tamara at arm's length. She is friends with Alexis. How could Shannon ever trust Tamara being friends with Alexis? How? I feel for Shannon. I know that Tamara is saying left and right. Shannon's getting the victim edit. She's not taking accountability, this and that. I want one person on this live to be able to go through what Shannon's going through on the show and not feel completely like just so dead in the knees. Like, it's got to be so, so hard. It's got to be so hard. So I feel for Shannon. I really do. I hope very much that she stays strong through the season. I feel like it's only getting worse. And but I'm loving the show. We watched the mid-season trailer yesterday, and I hope that it holds up to it. So, meanwhile, tonight I am going to be watching, or this weekend, I'm going to be watching the third installment of the Lacey Peterson, Scott Peterson story on Netflix. But someone told me I should go and watch the Peacock one too, because it will give me a good idea of both sides. So I will watch that as well. I also need to catch up on Big Brother. Do not tell me what happened, because I was focusing most of my attention yesterday on Love is Blind UK. This weekend on Patreon, we're going to talk about Love is Blind UK. We're going to talk about Scott Peterson and Lacey Peterson. We're going to talk about Big Brother. And we're going to talk about all of the other things that we always talk about on Patreon, like personal stuff. Maybe I'll cry. Maybe I won't. It's a toss-up. We can talk about, Israel being mentioned at the DNC last night. I was so thrilled to see that. There's so many things. Okay, by the way, Debbie thinks I look like a gymnast. Do you guys know how many times I get stopped asking if I'm a gymnast? And I say, definitely not. Definitely not. But when I was a kid, I was able to stand in a doorway and put my leg all the way. All right, you guys, I hope you have an incredible weekend. I love you. Thank you so much for your support this week, dosers. Sorry about the commercials. If you got too many, I can't control some of those on YouTube, but that's how you got to subscribe to YouTube Premium, honestly. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you for being here. Bye.